Okay, this final video looks at this issue slightly different. It's still the question of moral certitude about brain death. And I posted this article on this part of the lesson here by an ethicist named Christian Bruegger, who claims that there's no moral certainty that brain death is really death. So this is not a point about using the criteria. That was our previous point. This is a point about the definition itself. And Bruegger claims that the available evidence, and we've seen some of this evidence, raises a reasonable doubt that ventilator-sustained brain-dead bodies are corpses. So it's a doubt that they're corpses, i.e. it's a doubt that they're dead. But we are sort of moving into, it's not, he claims that the evidence should raise enough of a doubt to throw it out. And that's kind of the question that you're going to have to ask yourself. So Bruegger agrees that we cannot identify the event of death directly. There's no way to verify in a kind of this direct way that that's really what's happening. So it has to be a matter of rational argument. He agrees that we can identify signs consequent upon the loss of biological unity. So that doesn't simply rule out the possibility that a dead brain might be a sign of a loss of biological unity. But he says we must have certainty, moral certainty, that the signs relied on are adequate. And so, again, he says the evidence that we've seen is it should be enough to push that off. Two things to say about this. First of all, the certainty that we have about something might be the result of our own research and study of the matter. Most of us are not in that situation, not even me. This is a very complicated metaphysical, scientific, biological question. Or it could be the result of reasonable trust in the authority of experts. So this is really where Bruegger's question would apply to us. Can we have reasonable trust in the authority of experts who say brain death is fine? Or should our understanding, our following up that there is controversy and disagreement, be enough to say that we don't really have reasonable trust that brain death is really death? The President's Bioethical Commission on that white paper we looked at, that raised this question. So they know that this is an important issue. So it's a serious situation because we're talking about whether people are dead. There have been suggestions that the process used is arbitrary. We've seen some of them. A good principle here that Pope Benedict raised is we should have the principle of precaution. So are we exercising enough precaution in trusting the medical establishment, or should that trust be questioned, which would justify, at least maybe not because exactly of what Jahai's mother did, but her actions, and allowing people the ability to opt out of using brain death or not. So that's kind of where we are. That's kind of the sort of personal situation you need to ask about this, and I'm going to leave it there kind of in your hands to think about some more.